The biggest mistake that people make when it comes to exercising their Miranda rights. My name's Corey Scott, and I want to tell you, I hear this statement all the time. People come into the office, and this is what they say at some point in the conversation, mostly new clients. But he didn't even read me my Miranda rights. That's what they say all the time. Here is the biggest mistake that I see people make when it comes to properly exercising their Miranda rights. And here it is. People simply don't know when Miranda rights kick in, when they apply. Because most people believe that anytime a police officer or law enforcement officer talks to you, that they're automatically entitled to have the Miranda rights read to them. And you guys know the rights. I'm not going to go through all of them here because you know them. You've heard them on every police television show. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to you, and so on and so forth. But here's the thing. Miranda rights only apply when, number one, you're considered to be in custody. You have to be in custody. And then the second part to that is you not only have to be in custody, but you also should be in a situation to where you're in custody and then the police or law enforcement, they ask you a question that they should know that if you answer that question, you could in fact incriminate yourself. So let's just say, for example, you're in custody and they've taken you in and they say, well, when did you first see the victim that night? If you answer that, you could very well be incriminating yourself. And if you happen to be at the police station, you're clearly in custody, you clearly can't leave. And if you answer this question, they should know that you could, in fact, be incriminating yourself, so the Miranda rights should be read. But here's the thing people don't understand about custody is there are times to where police officers, they can walk up to you on any street corner, on any street in America, and just strike up a conversation and say, hey, I'm Officer so-and-so. Are you so-and-so? And would you mind, Mrs. Smith, would you mind answering a few questions for us? And that's perfectly fine. You're on the street, they're on the street. They haven't put you in handcuffs. They haven't somehow restricted your freedom. They're just walking up to you just like any other person would in a grocery store or anywhere else and striking up a conversation. Guess what? If they strike up that conversation and then they start to ask you those same questions that we talked about before, well, did you know Mr. So-and-so? And when did you first see Mr. So-and-so last night? And you answer those questions, you're free to leave. You're free to not answer their questions. You don't have to talk to them. You can walk away or terminate that conversation at any time. Miranda rights don't apply. Now, in terms of custody, it's not necessarily that you have to be at the police station. It could be a situation to where there's a lot of things that courts look at. Some of those things are this, let's say there's this extraordinary show of force where it's not just one officer that approaches you, but it's 3 or 4 police cars. It's actually 10 officers and you're surrounded. The question becomes, would a person in that situation feel like they could just walk away or terminate the conversation? Probably not. Or it could be a situation to where the police have ordered you to do something. Mrs. Smith, have a seat on the sidewalk. Mrs. Smith, have a seat in the back of my car. Now, that's a situation to where your liberty, your ability to move about and be free clearly is compromised. That would be a situation that would be considered to be in custody. And so there are a lot of things. We can't go through all of the scenarios, but here's the thing to take with you. Miranda rights apply when you're in custody and police are asking you a question or questions that they should reasonably know If you answer that question, you could in fact be incriminating yourself to participating in a crime. But please remember, if you just voluntarily talk to the police, if you're just out there and about and you're free to leave, free to terminate the conversation, most likely your Miranda rights will not apply. So here's the thing. Your best bet is just to have a standing rule. You know what? I don't talk to police like that. I don't answer questions like that. And what you can simply say is, officer, I understand that you're just trying to do your job, but I'm going to exercise my right to remain silent. And then that's it.